it's Missy. So it's 20 to 21 weeks after our average day to last frost, and we finally had our first fall frost of the season, our hard frost. As you can see, the marigolds aren't looking too well because they did get hit with the frost. Last week I did go and spade over the vines and so forth in the garden, so you can see we have dirt up on top, but the vines are underneath, hopefully decomposing well. But what I wanted to show you, I had left these beans because I had wanted to show you what to do with the pods when the plants and the beans turn brown. I had to wait for a frost in order to show you this, but they did finally dry and turn brown, and this is when you would harvest them. Now these are my green bean plants. And then all you do is you just crack open the pod, and you can see that the green bean seeds have fully formed and they have dried. And now you can actually take the beans out of here and put them in a jar that's well sealed, and you can use these like you would kidney beans, pinto beans, any kind of dried beans. So you can use them in soup, stews, chilies, whatever you like. Or you can, if they're of heirloom variety, you could save them for seed for your spring crop. So that's basically what I wanted to show you. They are about the size of a dry kidney bean if you grow those or any other kind of dry bean. So just another way that you can use your green beans kind of in a multi-purpose situation. Now, an item that wasn't on our checklist but was in the chapter of the book that I use for my gardening calendar is to apply fresh horse manure to areas of your garden that didn't have a cover crop. Now, this is where my pepper plants were, and as you can see, I have already added the fresh horse manure. Luckily for me, I live on a farm with horses, so fresh horse manure is very plentiful, and I will be spading that in this week and the next week as I pull things out of my garden because they've been frosted. If you can't come by fresh horse manure, you can buy composted manure and use that instead. If you don't want to purchase that, I recommend using the compost from your compost pile that you've been building up, hopefully, throughout your gardening season. But definitely I'm trying to build up the organic matter in this garden, like I've said in previous videos. So I take a garden fork and work the manure into the garden. And my soil is very hard, so I have to do this, unfortunately, with two hands. But you're basically just going and just turning the soil just like that, incorporating it in. Okay, so now we finally get to plant our garlic. So we went through, we got our beds ready to plant it. I do have a couple of garlic heads that I purchased. I think I got these from Menards on clearance. And they come out in the spring, and then they want you to plant them in the spring. In my area, I have to plant it in the fall because the ground isn't thawed out enough for me to go in and plant them that early in the spring. You could maybe get these. I saw Burpee was advertising them, Burpee Seed Company, if you want to order online. But other than that, you could check with your local nursery, garden supply store. I leave them as a complete head until I'm ready to plant them. When I plant them, I just go and I separate the cloves from the head just like that. And then I'm going to put like one clove per pot. But yeah, it's pretty easy to separate the cloves because this is nice and dry. And then when you do have the cloves, what you're going to do is you want to bury them so they are 1 inch deep. So I can just take my hand, put a hole in, and then put it in there and cover, and then they can be so 1 inch deep and like 2 inches apart, I think. And then so I'll basically go around in a circle for this pot with the one head, water it in, and hopefully next spring I'll have garlic plants. I'm down in my food storage area and I need to check the tomatoes. All of the tomatoes should have turned red by now. If they haven't, then they are just pretty much rotting sitting on the table, and when I pick it up I could feel it's squishy and it has like a weird texture, like a bumpy texture on you can see the signs of rat already on this one. So this one I'm going to discard. But if your green ones have that smooth skin yet and they're not squishy soft, you can definitely use them as green tomatoes. Some people fry them, some people make green tomato pie. There's probably a lot of recipes out on the internet for them, but this one will definitely be discarded, and I will just keep using the tomatoes as I can. Obviously, checking them to make sure that they're not rotting, flipping them over, and so forth. So that is it for my tomatoes. Other items that I didn't cover that are included on the checklist for these 2 weeks are the rhubarb. You can spread well-rotted manure over the bed. And then, of course, you could clean and toast the pumpkin and squash seeds for snacks. I've never done this before. Maybe I'll try it next year. And then with the popcorn, ornamental corn, if you had grown that, you can now harvest and dry it for use. And then also, if you have wood ashes, you want to save and incorporate those into the garden soil as well to boost your organic matter. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!